Interim leader John Steenhuisen is cracking the whip on councillors who voted for the ANC's mayoral candidate, saying there will be consequences. He says such actions widen cracks within the party. The ANC's Jeff Makubo was voted as the new Joburg mayor yesterday, unseating the DA in the metro. Lindsay Dentlinger is tracking the story for us. She joins us now live from Cape Town. It hasn't been a good week for the DA in Gauteng. How has the party's interim leader accepted this defeat in Johannesburg?
Shahan, he says he's disappointed by what's happened, losing control of that all-important metro for the DA, but even more disappointed in his members who he says have displayed ill discipline by voting with other parties to ensure that the DA doesn't retain control of the Johannesburg metro, and saying he's going to go after those who did so. That admittedly is going to be hard for him to do because that vote was a secret ballot. The DA suspects at least 2 councillors broke ranks in that vote. And John Steenhuisen saying that he had visited that caucus himself, had meetings with them last week, and it was quite evident that after that post-election review that saw Mmusi Maimane step down as leader and subsequently also saw the resignation of Herman Mashaba as Johannesburg mayor, that it was a very frustrated caucus, that some have felt sidelined, and he said he had also hoped to extend the partnership that the DA had with the EFF by offering them committee chairs, but it was not to be. Here's what he had to say at a press conference at Parliament earlier today.
The biggest obstacle to us getting into power will often lie with ill discipline within our own ranks, and that if we're serious about being the alternative in South Africa, then it requires iron discipline from within our ranks. And so we will be taking very strong action against any individuals who behave in an ill-disciplined way. And I've said very clearly, from me down, and I will take responsibility for any of my own actions that people may regard as ill-discipline.
Now, Lindsay, we've been speaking to Kaya Kumalo in Tshwane, and things could go the same way in Tshwane. What's Steenhuisen saying to that?
Shahan, this morning he was pretty much expecting it to go the same way, pretty much conceding defeat, that is what is going to happen in Tshwane tonight or in the coming hours. He said he believed there were forces of collusion at work in that metro and wasn't expecting to retain control. But he said the DA would leave that metro with its head held high, having gotten its shocking financials out of the red and into the black, and believed that the party had done what it could to expand services to those who needed it, but also quite emphatic that the party was not going to remain in coalitions for the sake of it, and if they were to lose that control of that metro as well tonight or in the coming days, then they would leave office feeling as if they have done all they could in the time that they were in control.
I think there's a very good likelihood that we're going to end up with a similar result in Tshwane. And I think that's unfortunate. But it's very clear that there are forces of collusion that are taking place to take Tshwane back. But again, I think we leave that government there with some successes under our belt, not as many as we would have liked. But nonetheless, people have worked hard there, and I think they've started to turn some key things around, particularly the financial metrics, taking the cities from being in the red to being back into the black, and ensuring that we were able to stabilise some of the services and to roll out opportunity for more people there.
Now, the fallout in these 2 councils spells a tough road ahead for the DA. How does Steenhuisen actually plan to tackle it?
Shahan, it has certainly been a bruising year for the DA in all respects, and now coming home now to having lost all three, or practically all three metros that it fought to retain get control over in the 2016 election. And John Steenhuisen only has about just over 4 months to prove to the party that he's the man possibly to take it forward into the future. That is when the party then votes for a permanent leader. But as you've heard in his earlier soundbite there, he says ill discipline is at the heart of what has gone wrong in the party and is what characterized the party over the next 2 years. So he is going to crack the whip there. He says he won't tolerate members of the party slagging each other off on social media and on Twitter. If they want to get into altercations, they must do so face to face and text one another or make a call. So he is going out to go after those who are bringing the party into disrepute. But as I say, a tall order, them having practically lost all three metros, and John Steenhuisen saying the local government elections in 2021 will be the DA's key focus when they regroup in the new year.
All right, we'll leave it right there. Lindsay Dentlinger is in Cape Town.